As breezy conditions greet you here Saturday morning, and it's finals day. Two umpires for today's super duper match. So the New Zealand lineup: Sally Rutherford in goal, Stacey Mickelson, Gloin up front, Kelsey Smith will run all day, Samantha Charlton, Brooke Neal, very important in deep defence. And will we see the glimpses of world-class play from Anita McLaren? We await that in this match. On the bench for New Zealand Black Sticks, Ella Gunson's been very good. Grace O'Hanlon, well, let's face it, she was the reason why New Zealand were able to get past England in that shootout. She was magnificent, saving 4 of the 5 English opportunities. So to Australia, Gabby Nance, she is very quick up front and will create, her and Emily Hertz, a lot of opportunities. Very quick, Jane Claxton, and of course Rachel Lynch has been the best goalkeeper here at the Commonwealth Games. Brooke Pearce, critical player. She's on her game. She will tear strips through that New Zealand midfield and will set up many goals. New Zealand and Australia will soon march out into the middle of the pitch and have their national anthems. And here they are now. While Australia know how to win gold medals, New Zealand have been in opportunities where they've been disappointed. Will they use that to their advantage? A massive contingent of yellow in the crowd. What a magnificent, colourful venue. And our 2 umpires for today: Sarah Wilson from Scotland, got over 80 caps internationally at hockey, and Ayana McLean from Trinidad and Tobago, the highest ever graded FIH umpire, Ayana McLean. So wonderful opportunities, not only for the players here at Commonwealth Games, but for umpires in their career path. Now Maddie Doyle and Shiloh Gloin on screen for New Zealand. And Ella Gunson, Sam Charlton, and there is Grace O'Hanlon, the reason why the New Zealanders are standing on the pitch today.
And Australia.
So a massive clap. You would expect the crowd would be fervently for Australia. It is the home games. And look at them in the stands, enjoying the national anthem, and well sung too by Australia and New Zealand. As they head towards,
good luck.
For some of them, it will be a new experience. And Ashley Nelson, you've been in this situation. 2 Commonwealth Games golds, 2010, 2014. Incredible feeling just before you push back.
Oh, so exciting. It is the big dance, and Australia and New Zealand have been invited, and nothing better than a good old-fashioned trans-Tasman battle. Charlotte Gloyn on the field there, an important player for the New Zealand side. 3 goals out of 9 shots. She's going to be an individual that really needs to step up, I think, alongside Maddie Dorr up front. There were 2 youngsters, probably a little bit quieter in the semi-final, but they need to put that aside and become an experienced player pretty quickly up there.
And the New Zealanders in their huddle. And Charlton, Cadell, and Emily Smith, key player for Australia.
Absolutely. Been a little bit quiet this tournament, Emily Smith, but she knows how to turn things on, and she'll be looking for a big game out there today. Both sides, no doubt, will have a few butterflies in the stomach, and why not? This is the gold medal match, and of course you also have the bragging rights that you want to get with the Oceania battle going on there as well. So I think both teams will try and settle fairly quickly. Jodie Kenny, she'll be integral to that process at the back. Look at that, 4 goals from 14 shots, all of them no doubt penalty flicks or drag flicks.
And Mark Hagar, the former Australian Kookaburra player, 179 international goals he scored, but he's in charge of the Black Sticks, and he has been since 2008. And Paul Godoyne has spent a long time with the men's program, 7 years with the men, but now with the women. The Hockeyroos looking to continue, and there in the stand, His Royal Highness the Earl of Wessex, Prince Edward, has come to have a look at the gold medal match. Now that's the noise coming from the Kiwi contingent in the stand. And Samantha Harrison in the middle. Drowned out, I have to say, by the Australians. And Rachel Lynch, the nurse who has steely resolve and deep defence. The game on, and already a turnover, and not an Australian stick near the New Zealand possession, so up and over, an early test.
Really looking forward to this battle. In my experience of playing in the 10 years, it was never really a clear-cut winner whenever Australia and New Zealand went head-to-head. There was always 1 or 2 goals in it. Opportunity now for Ratcliffe. They quickly swing onto attack, and we have become so familiar with the quick passing skills of Australia. And Crown gets dispossessed in this circle. Brooke Neal. Early pressure coming from Australia. Very intense moment. This is what they do to teams, and they test them out severely. But with Gloyn now, she has Mary ahead of her, out on the left flank. Into the circle it goes, into whose land? Is it going to be Mickelson win the ball? Stop it going over the outside. And coming off Mickelson's foot, well spotted. Sarah Wilson, highly experienced umpire from Edinburgh in Scotland. And I'm sure we'll hear her accent coming through with her whistle. Mickelson trying to come through with her stick. And look at the contest coming from Australia. Anytime Mickelson gets the ball, Stewart. And quickly that wave of yellow enters the circle again. Scythe of a stick coming through. Australia have started fast. New Zealand have been forced into some early errors. That battle with Mickelson, she's such a key component to the New Zealand side who creates a lot of play. Australia would have discussed that, not necessarily marked her, but they will try and get 2 players out to her, and rather than try and dispossess her, just try and force her back rather than making an effective pass. They're not successful in that case. Has it?
Now McLaren, and across the face, and that's kicked on the ground, which hasn't always been the case here at the Commonwealth Games. So under the intense heat, the cauldron of the gold medal match. Kenny. Mark Hager. And look at the height on that ball, and Brooke Neal does extremely well to bring it down. Mickelson, and she's being chased by Brooke Pearce. Slipped into the circle, shot at goal, and into the wide. Look at Lynch, though, how she got over to her left post and closed down the opportunity for New Zealand.
Her lateral movement, just fantastic, but good shot there by Kelsey Smith initially, and then the follow-up there by Gloin, just trying to slap at it, but the coverage by Lynch in the net, sensational.
Claxton eating up the metres on the turf. Kenny.
First one down here.
You have to be in the right place. There's been a lot of green cards given out for misdemeanors around this area of the pitch. Australia once again starting quickly. And Pearce. Look at the body balance of her as she takes the ball. Charlton clings up. Spots some blue turf with not many people in it, does Neil, and Mickelson's hit across the field. Gloin will want to keep those in. There's no pressure. In terms of an Australian player, pressure because it is the gold medal match. Stick-to-stick passing from Australia. Very accurate. Mickelson retrieves. Taken quickly by Charlton. So, Kenny, and a corner for Gunson. Drive into the circle. Mickelson's amongst it. Trying to force a corner here, and a free out for the defence. That very tall form of Jodie Kenny is such an important person in that defence for Australia.
Very clean defence from Australia. New Zealand, they've maintained the attacking pressure, particularly in their attacking circle, but Australia's done well to deny any penalty corner opportunities.
Hayward was looking for a bit of advantage there, didn't get it.
Young Maddie Dawes come to the field now, onto the field, off the substitution bench.
Sealed off. Again, it's Pearce who has it. And taken quickly. Quick passes between McLaren and trying to change the point of attack, New Zealand, to get around Lynch. I've looked at all the footage of her. She covers so much of the goal as the goalkeeper. Gunson drives in.
More patience needed there from Gunson. What I'm liking about the Black Sticks, however, is that their experienced players are coming to the forefront. We've seen McLaren getting a bit busier. She's a bit quiet in that semi-final, but she certainly looks like she's fired up today, getting a lot of possession through the midfield, linking in well with Mickelson.
Australia using the overlap. Bone. Bone. Oh, pinpoint track from Gunson. And Harrison. With the ball in the midfield, Ashley Nelson playing in a gold medal match, when does it start to feel like a hockey match rather than all that pressure and all the hype around it?
I think both sides look like they're a little bit more relaxed at the moment. The beauty of these two sides going head-to-head is that they actually know each other particularly well. So after the first initial 5 minutes, you know what you're in for. It's going to be 60 minutes of hard physical work. And that can be a little bit nerve-wracking initially, but they look good now, Australia going forward.
Kershaw is the instigator for Australia. Spotting her captain behind Mickelson.
Number 12 from New Zealand. Let's watch the stick tackles in here, please.
Okay, Ella Gunson getting a warning from the umpire about her work with his stick, over the Australian stick. We mentioned at the beginning, two very good umpires, and they'll work together as a team to ensure accuracy, and the application of the skills is true. There are the Kiwis, as you can see, pretty obvious.
They're making a lot of sound for a small group, but good to see that they've popped over the ditch, made the effort to support their girls. I'm sure a lot of them have put many hours in supporting the girls across many years.
Maddie Dorr coming off. And her role model, Mickelson, passes over to the left. Harrison's there, where's the ball? Can she get it up and around? And look at Lynch, it hits the umpire play on, of course, umpire's part of the field. Super defence, super Australian defence.
Here from the umpire cam, you see Harrison just getting a backhand nick on that, but Lynch well aware of Harrison's capabilities. That's going to be a good battle between those two today.
Very organised in defence. Australia, very stable. Ashley Fay, who has the ball now.
Well, Ash Fay's really stepped up in this Commonwealth Games, but the defence for Australia has been outstanding this tournament. No goals scored against them, and that's mainly been because of the leadership shown by Rach Lynch, but also Jodie Kenny. But Renee Taylor, who's on the ball now, Ash Fay, they've stepped up as well.
That wave of yellow through the midfield. And Brooke steps up for Brooke Neal for New Zealand. Slightly under hit the back pass, and she was forced, all the pressure coming on her by the Australian captain. I think they can feel a little bit hard done by here, Australia. came off a New Zealand stick. Right.
I think initially he lifted off Claxton's hit though. He just went a little bit higher off the New Zealand stick.
Davies in her work early. Mary. Good effort from Olivia Mary. To the circle, and Hayward's shot not picked up by anyone. There's quite a decent breeze coming across as Mary secures the ball, but an equally good tackle at the top. The New Zealand Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Jacinda Ardern, looks as though she's right into the match, concentrating.
Wonderful female figure to be watching on these wonderful ladies out playing today. She's certainly an inspiration.
Paris again. Play on is the call. And the dancing feet of Paris. Drive into the circle and spoiled only by Mickelson's stick. And they are on the edges of their seat.
Good chase back there by Mickelson, doing the defensive work as well as a midfielder, marking M. Hertz on the post.
Last 30 seconds of the first quarter of the gold medal match. And here's a right royal chance. Shot at goal, but Davies is the player in question. And I think she's saying that it didn't come off her.
And here's Emily Smith has the shot. Looks like it does take all the stick with Davies. But they haven't referred it, so there must have been a foot in there somewhere. Australia with the first opportunity of the game as far as penalty corners are concerned. Rutherford looks on. What will Australia do? She's probably wondering.
It's interesting, still a bit of a conversation around the New Zealanders. Kelsey Smith, Francis Davies having a chat about that. But at the top, we had Jodie Kenny. And it is a bit of a mess for the first one. And that can happen. We're counting down the seconds to the first break. And there it is as McLaren opts to not hit it. And quite intense first 15 minutes. You would expect that in a match of this calibre, the one that glitters the highest, the gold medal match. There's nothing to separate these two sides. New Zealand 0, Australia 0. Well, it had all the ingredients that we expected in that first 15. Ashley Nelson.
Ogedouin addressing his troops. Don't think that they'll be looking to change too much in this first quarter. It's been quite an even contest. We did expect that. What we can see is that it's been played with great respect. And here are the highlights of the first quarter. McLaren, she had the shot initially, but Rach Lynch, she's made a couple of saves in this first quarter. Not letting any goals through this tournament just yet. I'm hoping to do the same, no doubt. There was a near opportunity there for Gloyn. Slapped at the ball, but a diving save there by Lynch once again. And Harrison, well, she's always going to be lurking on that back post. She's going to be a real threat today. Here's the opportunity for Australia. Jodie Kenny not getting the opportunity to drag flick, a missed trap at the top of the circle.
Anita McLaren. And there two very important people, of course. His Royal Highness, the Earl of Wessex, Prince Edward, and the New Zealand Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Jacinda Ardern, and to Jacinda's, our right, looking at Clark Gayford, her partner, in the shirt with the roses on it. She's been really prominent, I think, for Australia through the midfield. And weaving some magic. Stephanie Kershaw just didn't have any help, really. And both teams probably going to have to watch the dribbling midfielder come through. Well read by Kenny. Two players in there again. Can she get the shot away, McLaren? Mary's in there, and excellent defensive work coming right up onto the player. Ash Fay saves the day for Australia.
So brave here as a defender. Ash Fay McLaren does well to get past, but just stepping up and outbodying Olivia Mary in there. Strong defensive work. Crucial save there for Australia.
Here's Kershaw again. Getting through that midfield with ease. Holzberger there. And into the circle it goes, and for Australia, again, just that last pass.
It's something that they've struggled with across the tournament, the attacking efficiency. What I liked about that one, though, was that they opted to go wide. They've been a little bit narrow in the opportunities that they've created today thus far. So although they didn't get the outcome, the process looked better.
Use your stick to bring it down. The aerial ball has been not overused here, but I think it's been used pretty intelligently generally by the teams and well umpired.
Well, I think by a lot of teams it's actually been underutilised, but Australia and New Zealand tend to use it quite well. Andy Bone there showing how it's done, throwing to knobs.
Charlton and McLaren. And penalty corner for New Zealand. Second spell, gold medal match.
That's what happens when you let Mickelson run through the midfield. She found McLaren on the outside left-hand side. And she managed to work a penalty corner. Good experience there, working onto the foot of Geordie Holzberger. So you'd think that New Zealand have had the better of opportunities, and probably none better than this. Neil lining up, McLaren lining up, both drag flickers at the top of the circle, and also Mary. She's developed a drag flick too.
Out hard, and McLaren at goal, and Lynch gets the left mitt away. And they'll have to defend another one, Australia.
McLaren with the drag flick, and Lynch. Pretty easy save there, just bats it away. Placement not quite there for McLaren on that occasion.
Here we go, we don't have 40
fortunately,
seconds.
they get another opportunity here.
Here we go, girls, thank you. Let's go.
Brooke Neal. Again, fast, McLaren, and shot at goal. And again, Lynch is in the right place. So the chances coming fast and furious, but that woman in goal. And now the Australian captain, Smith. Gets spotted. Pearce wide out on that right flank. So end-to-end play. And you'd expect nothing less in a gold medal match.
We talk about composure. There's Thompson there with that tackle, so composed, having to rush back and tackle Brooke Paris is no mean feat, but to do it cleanly, well done.
Through into the dotted line area, the big drive into the circle, free player, and lucky that time Rutherford in goal was watchful and ready. She hasn't really had a lot to do. Look at this end-to-end stuff.
This is just a classic Australian-New Zealand battle. Always end-to-end, running midfielders, opportunities. That last one-on-one, sensational. This is going to be an exciting game, or already is an exciting game.
Harris just inching the ball forward. And directing her teammates as to where she wants them. And Smith, those lovely little magical goal feet dancing away. And they go and ramp it up a couple of notches, the tempo. Claxton this time read the ball. Those ones you just got to be so careful that it doesn't drop down just in front, underneath the upright.
Yeah, Rutherford covered it well, was going high off Ratcliffe's stick. So Australia have converted, well not converted, created a few more opportunities. It was all New Zealand way, but evening up now.
McLaren, can she get it under control? There's a swipe at goal, and it's open goal. Maddie Dorr. It's a big occasion for a young person.
Well, here's umpire Cam here. McLaren doing the hard yards. Maddie Dorr trying to get a touch on it, but a diving save there by Rach Lynch. She's been busy.
Hayward this time. Couldn't get around three. She did well to get through two, but very rarely you find your way through three. Nicholson, you saw it, she was quite prominent in the first 15. She was looking back for Brooke Neal in the deep defence. Didn't realise she was across on the right.
Good pocket press there by Australia, just blocking all the options for Hayward.
Clever use of the ball. It won well by Thompson, but this is a bit of table tennis in the middle of a hockey match. Kershaw again. She's run the most metres in the midfield for Australia so far. And Jodie Kenny exhorting her fellow teammates to push up and seal off the ball. Paul Goodwin be putting the same message out, I suspect. Hayward again up that left flank. She looks up ahead and sees Harrison. And it's a pretty hard area for either the defence or the attack to make something of it. Desperate stuff in the circle.
Both sides opting to try and play quick here, but playing quick doesn't mean that you have to be frantic. Just a bit more composure around the edge.
Davies gets onto the pitch and immediately gets the ball. She drives it into the circle. Oh, look at the body position. Look at that from Jodie Kenny. Super.
Protects the ball there. Still in movement though. Not giving Kelsey Smith a look in.
Space, the ball just dropped into it. Taylor. Free ball. And Hayward, who's had a very good match so far. Trying to get the ball back.
Hayward certainly one of those players that has a lot of experience, and that's what she brings to this side. It's quite a young side. And she just does her job. Nothing too fancy. Works for the free hit. Gives and goes.
Oh, good hassle. Very good hassle. Kelsey Smith.
She'll run all day, won't she, Kelsey Smith?
Yep, she will. You'll never ever fault her intent and her absolute guts. She just might have to work on refining some of her skills, but you'd want her in your team, wouldn't you? Because she'd give you 150. Hayward. A nice little word there from the umpire there to nothing. Don't appeal for a PC. There's nothing there. Oh, that she had only millimetres to get that ball down there, and then look at the Australians around Brooke Neal then when she took the ball. They took the ball off her. Surging forward. And again, Rutherford. And it's heart and mouth stuff whether you're a defender or an attacker.
That's the second one Fitzpatrick's had one-on-one with Rutherford. Trying to get the squeeze shot away, but probably just needs to shift the line to go to one side or the other of Rutherford before having the shot. Rutherford closing down the space really well there. Very decisive.
Able to pick up the rebound and the free hit to McLaren again. Just behind the dotted white line. In. And shot at goal. It's in! The New Zealanders have broken the deadlock, and the first goal conceded at the Commonwealth Games for Australia, and 2 minutes 20 from the half-time break.
And it's a youngster, Gloin. She missed out on going to the Rio Olympics because of an ACL, but she has proven her worth here at the Commonwealth Games. How about this for a shot? Gets the ball, takes it, steals it, bang, slots it home. New Zealand go one up in the gold medal match here at the Commonwealth Games.
Yeah, Samantha Harrison, as you can imagine, the rest of the Kiwis absolutely delighted. Harris again. You certainly can split a game apart. Brooke Pearce, I thought she was magnificent in the pool match between these two sides. the New Zealanders some confidence. Mark Hagar. They haven't scored a goal, New Zealand, since last Friday a week ago, when they downed Ghana by 12-0. And since then, they've had a 0-0 draw with Canada and a 0-0 draw with Australia. And it was 0-0 with England in ordinary time before they won in a penalty shootout in the semi-final. McLaren has the ball. Mary stealing, but in the wrong position. Harrison and Thompson wait. Bone went into taking in a bit of hydration. It's the interesting. Oh, both. That just doesn't that indicate both players going for the ball then?
Yeah, heavy clash there. Both players being hit quite hard. Renee Taylor just nodding her head. I think she acknowledges that there was no malice in that, but oh, that would have hurt.
It's a sideline
She's
ball,
just
guys.
getting a
That was
breath.
just a clash.
Renee Taylor coming off.
Okay.
Clapped off by the
Sideline
crowd.
ball. Just wait for the whistle,
Unfortunately, not too long until the halftime break, so hopefully she can get her breath back.
And it's always worse when you don't expect it. They're both going for the ball, and it's all of a sudden you just sort of get blinded by it almost.
It's going to be a physical battle, but there is a great respect between these two teams, and always the games are played in a good manner.
The captain knew it was her ball, and she has got Paris ahead of it. But what a job McLaren's been doing. If you'd be looking at the Black Sticks a few years ago, you'd expect to see McLaren up the front and striking, but she has been in the midfield, sometimes down deep defence, and the hooter about to go. You can hear it. And wow, pulsating second 15. Ashley Thompson said it all. Trans-Tasman clashes between these two sides are always intense, but well fought in the true spirit of the game. And at half-time, with that one goal, it is New Zealand one ahead of Australia. Well, I'd certainly had a lot of opportunities, New Zealand, to try and find any kind of chinks in Rachel Lynch, but...
Well, the match statistics say it. New Zealand certainly having more opportunities and converting 1 out of 7. Australia, they were a little bit quiet in terms of their opportunity to start off with, but they did start to come back into that game. And you would have to say that it's still been a fairly even contest. New Zealand just been a little bit more efficient in the circle. Certainly Gloyn making no mistakes with that shot on goal that she had. And here are the highlights for the first half. McLaren, she's been busy all day. Good to see a senior player stepping up in this competition at a crucial moment. This is the umpire camera, and it's been a hit across goal. Gloyn, she slapped at it, but Rach Lynch, she managed to dive and get across and give that coverage. Ash Fay also getting a stick in there, denying Gloyn the first goal. Harrison, a good battle there between her and Lynch. He was hiding on the post there. Australia, they had a penalty corner, but it wasn't so effective. Bit of an askew push out, and also the trap not quite there. There's McLaren again. Rach Lynch doing what she does best, but Ash Fay cleaning up behind. New Zealand, they also had a penalty corner, but Jodie Kenny, look at that, just swats it away. Good work there by the postie. And there is Shiloh Gloyn. She makes it 1-0 in the gold medal match. Makes no mistakes the second time. And good luck trying to save that absolute rocket. And they're happy on the bench there. Fist pump from Harrison.
Well, it's been fast and furious, that first 2 quarters, no doubt about that. We expected that. It's only a Shiloh Gloyn difference, the goal. It is New Zealand 1 ahead of Australia 0 at half-time.
Now, a quick little update for you. That lovely young lady from earlier is doing well. She's smiling and she's completely fine. So give her a big round of applause. Great effort for her. We are going to continue, but we have introduced a no interference rule, so everyone must stay in their own lane. Okay, there's your warning. I warn you. We've got a brother and sister team over here, Charlie and Jay, and they're two of our game shapers. So they're two of our volunteers working super hard over here on the game on the Gold Coast. And then we've got Emma and Richard, two young friends here ready to take on this ball race. All right, let's get behind them, crowd. Count them in. 3, 2, 1. Let's race. Again. Well, we will attempt to keep them in their own lane. Good job as we go up game chasers. Playing very fairly. I'm proud of you two young ladies. Good job. How do you think she's doing, Jack? Charlie, big cricket play, Jay says. Beautiful first transition, and we see the second team members taking off. Luckily, they're not playing on the soccer team. Brilliant, and around the final game shaker down there. As we head back, Charlie, Jay said you weren't doing a great job. How's he going? Joey, what are you doing, mate? Down this way. Ladies and gentlemen, cheer them home. They can't quite find the end. They're going all sorts of directions. Straight down to the line here. Brilliant, till we finally got it done. Give our game shakers a big round of applause. Brilliant. Pretty well done considering. Jay, how do you think you went?
Alright.
She did alright. You were pretty hard on her. She's your little sister. Be nice, young man. Now, what are you doing here? You're one of our game shapes. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, good fun. I'm ball kid and ball control actually.
Well done. Do you play one for yourself?
Yeah.
You do? Well, hopefully, yeah, people will have race one day. Ladies and gentlemen, give everyone involved a big round of applause, and there's plenty more hockey coming up for the second half with Australia taking on New Zealand.
Alrighty, Gold Coast. Sam's repositioned on the pitch, and we're about to do something that you may have done before, but just never like this.
That's right, Greg. It is time for the roller coaster cam. Give me a wave if you can see us down here. Some of you may have done this at other sports, but we're going to give it a crack here with the whole grandstand keep us nice and warm. Because the Gold Coast is the home to the biggest theme park in the Southern Hemisphere. We're going to make our very own roller coaster. So we need everybody in this stand up on their feet and joining in making the biggest roller coaster cam here on the Gold Coast. Ladies and gentlemen, safety, as you will see today, is always first. So please pop your arms in the air as we apply safety time. Brilliant. Heading up to the top of the beach. But follow me at all times, and most importantly, make sure you scream your lungs out as we head down the Big Dipper. Are you ready? Thumbs up! Let's go! Brilliant, grab onto that safety harness, head on back to the dock, and get yourself in position to watch the second half of the game. Coming up very shortly here at the Gold Coast
Keep the sign. Go.
So it's some karaoke brought to you by the Star Gold Coast Confectionery.
About 30 seconds, guys, do that, okay? Face it that way and you'll see yourself come up.
Well, the sideline champions are in full voice here at the Gold Coast Hockey Centre. It is the gold medal match. How appropriate they're wearing gold. They are Australian supporters after all. But it is halftime, and the halftime break just about finished. Both teams out in the middle. There's the New Zealand contingent of supporters. And they went and bought their tickets, obviously put them in all in the same place. That's Olivia Mary's parents, number 4, the cat, her sister Elena and her mum. And it is the gold medal match. And after the first 2 quarters, New Zealand lead. A Shiloh Gloin direct shot from the top of the circle. And the Claxton clan, you know all about them.
Absolutely, Dane Claxton's family, well known to the hockey community.
Jodie Kenny hoist to start the second half, the third quarter. Claren, under all sorts of pressure, gets the pass away. Up on the top right-hand corner. Nicholson, she got the call from Charlton. It didn't go to her though. And they've used the left side quite a lot, Australia. Herschel, when she's come through in the first half, has come through the left, through the middle, veering out to the left. They've got the ponchos on because it has been a tiny little bit of rain out there. A few spits as Nicholson takes the ball into the circle and has a shot at goal. And it's only that left mitt of Lynch that comes through and stops it hitting the blue net.
Well, that was defensively poor by Australia. A lot of their players falling back into the circle rather than going out and meeting Mickelson. The defensive effort by the midfielders for Australia needs to be better than that. Turn Mickelson back.
Again, it's Mickelson trying to pass off to Thompson, but it was underpassed. There's so much around anybody who gets the ball on the end of their stick. There is just no room. Charlton. To pass the ball to go through the middle, one thinks, rather than a shot. Gets sealed off. Brooke Pearce in the foreground. Famous cousin Brooke Pearce. I'll tell you about that in a minute as Mickelson wheels her way into the circle once more. And a great hassle and a very good tackle. Nance. So Brooke Pearce, her cousin, first ever Indigenous Australian to win a gold medal 1996 at Atlanta in hockey.
Paris, the pride of Northern Territory, and there's a lot of wonderful work with the Indigenous community. Goes quite regularly up to remote Indigenous communities to teach the young girls up there that they too can play hockey, much like her. Good ambassador.
McLaren gets it through the legs, but it's a second wave of defence. Cadell this time, running midfield, opts to pass wide, and oh no, they'll review this, I think.
Kathy, I'm looking for a foot down here.
Okay, I'll have a look.
Thanks. I call for the tackle? Yep. But she's going to take a look.
And there is a foot of Emily Smith. So I don't think that there's any reason why this shouldn't be a penalty corner awarded to New Zealand. Good referral there by the
Ayana,
New
I have
Zealand
a
captain.
decision for you. It hit a foot, it's a penalty corner.
Now that's why you have the video umpire, to increase the accuracy in the decision, and it's nothing against the umpires, it's a fast game. Players generally know when they go up for something like that, especially straight away. They've learned to not react in the heat of the moment. McLaren.
Australia has Eddie Bone running out as first runner. She's been very strong. Can she do it again?
It's going to Mary, slap at goal. And in the goal for goal number 2. A rebound. And the New Zealanders go 2-0 ahead. Are they going up? Yes.
I'm going for my referral. On the baseline, can you let me know if the push on the defender came before, so she wasn't able to get the ball?
Okay, I'll have a look for a push.
And we're looking for a push by a New Zealander on an Australian.
So there is a bunt to the left and a slap at goal. Jodie Kenny falls over, but Rose Cadell, she gets up quickly, doesn't she? Slaps it through. I don't really see that there's anything wrong with that from my point of view. Mind you, Smith does take Jodie Kenny's leg, but it sort of seems like a relatively fair contest. Could be a bit contentious.
Ayana, there is no clear reason to change your decision. Goal stands.
Rose Cadell with the goal. New Zealand go 2 goals up. Absolute challenge now for Australia to get back into this.
Well, they certainly came out firing in that third period, the New Zealanders, and they put wave upon wave. And this is Pearce out on the left. And one thing's for sure, you know, it will bring the best out in the Australians.
Absolutely, a very spirited bunch of girls out there. Anytime they put that green and gold on, they give 110%. I think that, as I said before, it's always a close contest between these two sides. Very rare that it ends up opening up to be a big goal difference between the two sides.
And Taryn Davey. This time Hayward, he was very efficient in that first half. Umpire demanding the 5 for safety, so it's a good reason to do it. Keep the 5. They're looking to go square, but using the diagonal ball instead. And just bunting it back.
Take it out wide. help. Thank you.
Just over 5 minutes gone in the third quarter. 2-0 to New Zealand. Shiloh Gloin in the second quarter and Rose Cadell in the third. So far, other scores. It's very much caught in pockets, isn't it? And caught in the midfield. Kershaw and Fay waiting to come in. And how do you whistle that? Both there at the same time.
Really risky overhead there by McMahon, not quite getting the length on it that she wanted. Turnover at the top of the circle, but Australia lucky on this occasion. They come away with the ball.
Now Nicholson again used the right a lot. Cadell pushes it into the circle. Terrific ball from Kenny. Not only did she trap it cleanly, she exited it superbly.
That's it. You have to be so clinical with your release ball, otherwise it's just another attack coming straight back at you.
Now for Australia, can they get some entry point into the circle? The noise is really deafening here at the Gold Coast hockey venue. And driving into the circle and letting it go into the goal. And it's Mickelson with the silky skills. Gets the ball onto the stick. Pushed right up, the New Zealanders. Neil clicks it. But Fay reads it. Really a very mobile defender, Ash Fay.
She reads the play really well, knows when to mark her player, knows when to move off her player and get that intercepting ball.
And the pass to Pieris was perfect. He's got the captain steaming in there on the spot. And look at that twist and turn, all the skills that we've come to admire. And across the face, and Thompson exits the ball. Nicholson demanding that to come out to the sideline, not over it. Oh, wide ball. How good was that? Acres of space. But it demanded an absolute dead stop trap.
16, hang on, bring it back because she's 5. Yeah? Okay.
Australia now looking quite aggressive in their press. M. Smith right up there.
It's an interesting exit ball. And it's Mickelson. Mesmerising skills. Look at that. And the ball goes forward. End-to-end hockey, we talked about it in the first 2 quarters, and the amount of running that's been done by the players is just mammoth. Lifted ball. I don't know how Kelsey Smith got that ball into the circle, but she did, and she just beamed it away in there. Got it in there. Only to see it be lifted. Harrison now loses control. Smith has it. Thompson gets it, but immediately under close scrutiny. And Mickelson again finds a way into the circle, finds a foot. And Mary's shot was still saved by Lynch in goal.
She is the architect and she creates so much. And there she just created a penalty corner opportunity for her country. And Taylor just a little bit static with her footwork. There's a shot by Mary, but the penalty corner had already been paid. So advantage not given there. Probably a good call in the end by the umpire. Mary, Neil on the 2 batteries. Gunson stopping, as is Charlton. Comes out to Mary, hit a goal. Oh my goodness me, Mary has found a little chink in Rachel Lynk's armour and they go 3-0 ahead. 3 minutes 38 left in the third quarter. Well, how about this full precision by Olivia Mary? That was flying home. She's a tall girl, Rach Lynch, but you can't cover everything. And just sneaking past Jodie Kenny there, having a bit of a swipe at it. Not too often you see the hard-hitted goal, but it's delivered the goods for the New Zealand side. They go 3 goals up.
Well, it's interesting in the context, that last hit that Mary had went sky high. You know, the stick came underneath it and had a bit of a swivel, and she pinged it perfectly that time, Mary. Now, what is the Australian reply, McMahon?
Australia, they just need to think it's 0-0 now, not get too worked up about it, not become stressed, don't play tense hockey like that. And Mary's streaming into that space, but Lynch is there and just a little play. She knew what to do. A little feint. She do? Going into the middle, going into the middle. And asking for a foot.
Kathy, can you just check on the height of that ball?
Yes, we'll do.
Thank you.
Have a look.
McLaren running the ball in through the circle. And it comes up actually above her knee. After the Kenny challenge. So there's... So it has been raised into the body.
The ball was high. Penalty corner.
Well referred by New Zealand. Ball coming up above the knee of McLaren. Hence penalty corner as Neil makes her way back to deliver the message. What will Mark Hagar call here?
On screen as she prepares to inject from the baseline. Oh, shuffle at the top, another strike. And why wouldn't you go back? The dancing feet through the midfield. And Thompson steps right up, makes the tackle. Aaron does some magical work in the middle to get that ball into that attacking third.
Charlton just icing above her knee there. She's performed well for this New Zealand side today and throughout the tournament.
Trying to jink herself around Jodie Kenny. And there, Sean Dancer and Mark Hager, Brains Trust, and under a minute to go in the third quarter. Both former Australian players in charge of the New Zealand team. And Charlton. Key player for New Zealand, Sam Charlton, which is one of the reasons they were so calm in that opening 15 minutes. Now, Peretz, what can she ignite?
New Zealand have just been stepping out really well today, making those tackles outside their defensive circle, not giving Australia the opportunity to work penalty corners or get shots away.
They're just running the clock down and the bottom left-hand defensive pocket. And the sun's starting now to break the cloud cover for the gold medal match here at the Gold Coast hockey venue. And that is the scoreline at three-quarter time. Gloin, Cadell, Mary on the score sheet. They lead Australia by 3-0.
Well, it was a magical quarter for New Zealand and really a nightmare for the Australian side. You can see why just here. There was a slap and then into the goal by Rose Cadell. That put them 2 goals up. And really set New Zealand on a winning path. And Olivia Mary, she made sure that she put that one away. A hard hit into the bottom right-hand side going past postie Jodie Kenny. New Zealand give themselves every opportunity to win their first gold medal at the Commonwealth Games.
Well, I think your advice before, Ashley Nelson, about the Australian approach has to be forget about what the score is and do your job. Carry out the team plan.
I think just tighten up a little bit through that midfield as well. Don't try and make the tackle, force the ball back and then press the defensive group of the New Zealanders. McLaren, Mickelson, they're having too much of the ball for the New Zealand side.
The last quarter about to start. And they're hunting in packs as they have really the whole match. Australia. Emily Hurts.
The run from New Zealand's been impressive as well. That semi-final against England would have really taken it out of the girls out there. But they just look so energised, particularly Kelsey Smith running with the ball now.
Yeah, the stick in her left hand, making it harder for the players to tackle her and getting through 2. And in the end, at least getting the ball across the face and trying to ensure that something else happens as a result of it. And that was started really by a Gloin steal.
There, Gloin also following up, trying to get a last touch on it.
by Kershaw, who was so prominent in the first 15. And just running out of room on the pitch. Smith's angry with herself for not dragging that one in, but really she's thrown herself at everything else. And the name of the game has been pressure from both teams initially, and then New Zealand coming out in that third quarter. Some lunges in there, which indicates some tired bodies. And the big Australian contingent willing that on, and they just in front of the New Zealanders, they give a big cheer. That's the pressure of a gold medal match. They are being stretched when they have the ball, both sets of players.
And that's the beauty of being 3 goals up. You can be a lot more relaxed with your skills and ball movement. Australia, because they are chasing this win, a little bit more tense. Penny Bone, the experience showing now, trying to get some, or gain some ground there.
Captain spots Papa Hayward high on the left side. Good when they pass it, Australia. Desperation. Cadell. And Hayward's back there now. But beaten to the ball. Trying to find a foot. And they still continue, and they'll get the penalty corner, Australia, and well earned too.
Good persistence shown by the Australian side. They still believe in themselves. And Brooke Paris, she has fought today, protecting the body well, or the ball well, using her body. Just feeds it in, finds the foot there of Hayward. Maddie Ratcliffe, Jodie Kenny on the 2 batteries. Nicholson first runner for the New Zealand side.
Now just going to Kenny, and a drive at the goal. And Rutherford picks it right. More work to do. Again, Australia have it on the end of their stick, looking to catch a foot. They do.
And here is the previous penalty corner. Jodie Kenny going to her left side, but Rutherford covers it extremely well. See the drop there. Gabby Nance trying to get in for the deflection.
Though. Thank you. Ready?
McKinney special. It's in! She gets it across the face this time. And she finds the gap where it needed to go, and you heard the thud of the backboard.
10 minutes to go, and Jodie Kenny has just breathed a little bit of life into this Hockey Roos side with that drag flick. 3 goals to 1. You'd have to say that it is really on now in this gold medal match.
Well, it's been really on right from the opening whistle. It has been high octane, hard marking and a frantic pace. McLaren searching to get that ball forward. Door up and over the top into space. I guess for her, in terms of experiencing a big match like this, it'll be an investment. 18 years of age, Maddie Dorr.
While she's been fairly quiet this game, she's the reason why the New Zealand side are here. She's done well in her first Commonwealth Games, Maddie Dorr.
A strong whistle. We're all looking around to see whether a card had been given. Yeah. Oh, she just fell over herself. It just was thinking perhaps about what next she wanted to do. That is what gold medal matches are all about.
Well, interesting scenes now. Rach Lynch coming off, and the goalkeeper has been pulled. So Eddie Bone, she is wearing the jersey, kicking fullback rights. Australia with an extra field player now. Well, 9:34. Of course, she can bring the goalkeeper back as well. That's the handy thing. So what a great little tactic. And the brains trust in the Australian camp. We need to give the opportunity for the side to score those required goals. So sometimes if you leave it a little bit too long, it doesn't work. But they've given themselves 9 minutes to get 2 goals back. Of course, they do open themselves up defensively. You can see Harrison up the field. That's a great shot of it, just lurking up in her attacking 25.
And she wins it. She has got a one-on-one. She's got the man on her back, and it only has to go near the goal. And that's adding to the extra drama.
Well, that is the steal that you don't want to have as Australian, but excellent for the New Zealanders. Unable to capitalise though. And that's the risk that you take, taking your goalkeeper off.
Of course, I'm looking just to calm it down for the New Zealand team as Gunston now gets that pass away.
Maddie Dorr.
I think she realises, did she, that she made the wrong decision here, and she's changed it.
There looks like a bit of confusion out there. It is going to be a long corner to New Zealand.
Now the wave of yellow, and Hayward's back there to help. Neil looks up and lifts it. So not only is it a battle there on the field, and I don't think that Pippa Hayward could believe her luck. Oh, and a soft pass from Mary made it an easy steal for Australia, and she pounds the ball downfield. McMahon trying to get it into that circle. He's got the youngster on the shoulder, and penalty corner time. It's working for Australia, the tactical move. And they're going up for referral.
Kathy?
Yes.
New Zealand are saying move it.
Okay, I'll have a look for the foot.
So this will be interesting to see. Emily Hurt, she was very persistent. Here's the backhand shot. Doesn't quite come off the way that she wanted, but can we see foot in there at all? There's so many legs, this is going to be a difficult task for the third umpire.
Well, she's already given the PC, and if they can't decide it, we'll go back to the original decision.
Sarah, there is no clear reason to change your decision.
It's a big call. 6:47 left on the clock. And that yellow uniform of Australia sealing around the top of the circle. It's going to Faye, slap it goal. Protective equipment gets fired off the back. Poor old umpire had to clean up. So that slight mistrack from Thompson, allowing, look at that, beautiful skills from both players. But it's Mickelson. And relieving the pressure. Robinson's on now, Amy Robinson for New Zealand, and Hayward, the long levers of Robinson.
New Zealand have brought McLaren back onto the field as well. You're thinking that they're probably bringing on some experience now with 5 minutes remaining and Australia pushing the way they are. They want their more experienced players onto the field.
The Prime Minister, Right Honourable Jacinda Ardern, to her left is the Minister of Sport, Grant Robertson. She's only meant to be here for a few minutes, but she's obviously compelled to stay, such is the fervour in the match. Robinson makes the steal. She hasn't played many minutes here, but she should have fresh legs. Got the ball, makes the pass into the circle and catches a foot.
Very well done there by Amy Robinson. She came into the side after an injured Tessa drop. And she does particularly well there, Gloin as well, just working the ball onto Igman's foot. 4 minutes remaining, and Australia without a goalkeeper. We'll see one of them put a helmet on. There needs to be someone in there with the helmet on, the goalkeeper's helmet, and it's Eddie Bone.
Catches the runner, so they'll get another one. Brave running, really brave running from Australia. Here's Rachel Lynch on the side. And out quick, McLaren again, at goal. Number 4 for New Zealand. Australia with the decision to remove the goalkeeper. 9.5 minutes left, and with 4.5 on the clock, it is 4-1. McLaren with the drag leg, but Lloyd, she was in there for the dive, but it will be credited to McLaren. Took a deflection off an Australian stick there. Disappointing there for Australia, something that they had to do. Whoever invented that rule where you can take the goalkeeper off, it has added, but I don't think I've ever seen it used with 9.5 minutes to go in a match. But, you know, great tactic, especially with the roll-on that Australia was getting at that time, and the complexion of the match had changed.
Well, it's a great tactic if it works. Otherwise, you do open yourself up to having a scoreline like this. sometimes in sport you have to roll the dice and see what you get.
Brave decisions. Pippa Hayward's been, I think she's been sensational today for the Black Sticks, because she is a person who has got a great personality in the team off the field, and nothing phases it. And she's been in situations where she's played in Black Sticks sides that have had utmost disappointment, and you think of what that does for a character and for a personality for a lot of the players out there for New Zealand. But they continue to train and play like a lot of the players here, pretty much as an amateur in a professional game.
Yeah, the hours that both these sides would put in would be quite incredible. All credit to them. This is the opportunity that you get to play in a gold medal match at a Commonwealth Games. And for New Zealand, it's looking very, very likely that they're going to come away with a gold medal. That lady that was just on screen has a lot to do with it, Pippa Hayward.
Came up from the deep south to Christchurch with her family. Went to Villa Maria and then won a scholarship to St Margaret's, and has played rep hockey right through the grades in Canterbury, and picked up and has now moved to Auckland. 2 minutes 30 on the clock. I wonder if the players know. Do you know?
Absolutely, you know.
Into the circle, and Rutherford watches it over the back line. Corner. There's the players. Thompson. Excellent work. The chant going up from the New Zealanders in the crowd. 1 minute 20 and trying to keep it locked on that right-hand side of the pitch. Smith's another hero for New Zealand here. Never say die running, putting a lot of pressure after Australia had initiated. Finished yet. Gunson gets the ball wide to Harrison. Wants to keep moving. Well picked off. Spotted a player, Emily Smith, deep in the circle. And into the last 30 seconds. Look at Mark Hagar's face. He's waited a long time for a result like this. 2008, he took this team on after they came last at Beijing. And they sit fourth in the world after coming second in the World League final in Auckland in October. And the players starting their celebrations on the bench. They had never, ever won gold before in the New Zealand women's hockey team. And it's their sixth match of the campaign, and it's the one that counted the most. They had one gold, the New Zealand women's hockey team, the Black Sticks, and the players and the crowd, and they've taken the game. The Prime Minister. And of course there will be an emotional spill over here. They have been so many times where they haven't finished tournaments well, so many times. And consolation hopes for the Australians, but it's New Zealand's day. It's New Zealand's day in the women's hockey. And mounds of supporters. And the gold medal match has been decided here at the Gold Coast Commonwealth Games, and it is New Zealand who's prevailed by 4-1. And you know what it feels like to be a gold medalist, and for the team that doesn't win, what it must feel like. Here's Mark Hager, Ash Nelson.
Well, all credit to the New Zealand girls. They definitely played the better match today, and for a lot of them it's been 8 years to get to this moment. They're silver medalists back in Delhi, didn't quite make it to the gold medal match in Glasgow, and they have persisted and they've got the reward. They're known as the Silver Ferns, but today they are the Golden Ferns, and I think that Australia will acknowledge that they got outplayed on the day. Disappointing result for Australia, but that will make them work that little bit harder. Plenty more opportunity for a lot of those younger girls. And this is how New Zealand managed to win the gold medal. Gloin, she was sensational. Look at that, straight into the bottom corner. That got them off to the right start. Olivia Merry, she slapped that one in, but then look who followed up, Rose Cadell. She puts one in, that makes it 2-0 to the Kiwis. Olivia Merry, that was a rocket fired home. Australia, they mounted a comeback though through Jodie Kenny. She's been good for them all this tournament, but it wasn't quite enough to get Australia across the line. Try as they must, New Zealand, they were just too good. And McLaren, that was icing on the cake for her, making it 4-1, the final scoreline. Australia without a keeper, trying to get back into the match. The youngsters there enjoying the moment, as are the old girls on the field.
Anita McLaren sealing the scoring for the New Zealanders. And the trip across the ditch, well worth it. Well, it has been anyway, because the hockey, the top levels of it have been fantastic. But it is New Zealand who take the gold medal over Australia by 4-1. And the goal scoring there, Gloin, Cadell, Mary before the Kenny reply, and McLaren put the icing on the cake when Australia decided to take their keeper off. They had just a field player with a helmet defending McLaren's penalty corner, and a brave campaign, 0-0 in pool play, and the two teams meet up in the gold medal match, the all-important one. And New Zealand, that third quarter will stay in my mind, because that was the clincher, and the way they came out after the break. They were up a goal, but they needed to increase it if they were going to take the game and not let it linger for themselves.
A lot of smiles there for the New Zealanders. We saw the Australians come off, and it's been a difficult 2017 for the Australian side, so they did particularly well to get into this gold medal match. And I guess as an athlete, you ride the highs and lows. You definitely have a lot of highs, but those lows just make you a little bit more hungry to have the victory. Mark Hager, he's done particularly well with this side. He's an Australian, but he's the reason why those New Zealand girls have got the gold medal today. He's worked wonders with the group.
Well, gold is the most precious of metals. In sport, gold is the highest currency. And here at the Commonwealth Games 2018 on the wonderful Gold Coast, the New Zealand Women's Black Sticks get to match that gold. And there's Charlotte Harrison, their former Black Sticks, but it is New Zealand who are the gold medal holders now for Commonwealth Games hockey. They've beaten Australia by 4-1.
Ladies and gentlemen, the medal ceremony for women's hockey. medals will be presented by His Royal Highness the Earl of Wessex, Madonna Blythe, Commonwealth Games gold medalist, and Ian Metcalfe, Chairman of the Commonwealth Games Association of England. They will be accompanied by Melanie Woosnam, President, Hockey Australia, the Honourable Grant Robertson, MP, the Minister of Sport for New Zealand, and Simon Ball, Director, Commonwealth Games Association of England. The winner of the bronze medal is England.
So the bronze medalists in the hockey 2018 here at the Commonwealth Games on the Gold Coast. And joining me in commentary for the medal ceremony, two people who know what it's like to be the recipient of gold medals. Nikki Hudson, Olympic gold, Commonwealth Game gold time 2, and Ashley Nelson, 205 caps for Australia, 2 Commonwealth Games gold medals. And the feeling amongst the 3 teams out there now. Firstly, you, Nikki, with the Olympic gold.
The emotion's running high. I must admit, I've shed a couple of tears here watching this. Just a feeling what the girls will be going through out there today. They've achieved greatness in their sport.
The English team, who finished proudly here today against India.
All credit to those girls. They fought hard and really came away with quite a comprehensive win in the bronze medal match. Alex Stanson, their tireless leader, 300 games at this Commonwealth Games. And she certainly would be proud of those girls today. It's a bronze medal, not the colour that they would have wanted, but they did earn it. And should be proud of their efforts. Sophie Bray there, she had a tremendous game today, managing to score a hat-trick.
And Mr. Ian Metcalfe, the chairman of the Commonwealth Games Association of England, presenting the English hockey team with their bronze medal. And the gift provider coming afterwards, Simon Ball, director of the Commonwealth Games Association of England.
Young Grace Bolston there, one to watch in the future. Great drag flicker. So a bronze medal to the English side.
Being presented with the mascot, Borrowby.
Alex Stanson on screen. Hampered somewhat, you have to say, in this Commonwealth Games campaign for her with her ankle injury that she incurred before the games had even started. But
yeah, she tore a ligament actually right off.
Yeah.
So she played through it, shows the bravery and being rewarded for her effort with a bronze medal.
Australia!
A big cheer. And the smiles from the Australian team. Wasn't the medal they wanted, but proud to be on the silver medal dais.
We see all those athletes getting rewarded by their medal, with all those fans cheering them on. They will be walking home with a silver medal as well. The captain, Emily Smith. She led from the front, she persisted all day. In the end, New Zealand were too good. There's Rach Lynch, the goalkeeper, managed to keep the ball out of the net throughout the majority of the tournament until today. And they're all being presented with their silver medal by Madonna Blythe, who is a very famous name in the hockey scenes here in Australia. She was the captain of the Hockeyroos before Emily Smith took over. And I think it would mean a lot for the girls being presented the medal by her. Renee Taylor there, the Queenslander, playing in front of a home crowd. And Joss Bartram didn't get a lot of time. She's the second goalkeeper behind Rach Lynch, but what an experience for her. Jane Claxton, South Australia represented there. She worked tirelessly, as this lady, Geordie Holzberger. Another Queenslander. Caitlin Nobbs, a very famous name to have in the Australian hockey scene. Her dad, Michael Nobbs, Lee Cape's her mum. And Steph Kershaw, she was wonderful through the midfield. Eddie Bone there giving a hug to her ex-captain. She'll have a few bruises on her shins from her first line running.
Yeah, she did very well, didn't she? A lovely moment between.
And I'm sure that The town of Berry in South Australia will be applauding that young lady, Karen McMahon, as will they with this lady. Look at the crowd cheering for her. She is a new mum to Harry, and now she has a silver medal to go with it. An amazing comeback by Jodie Kenny. Amazing comeback by Emily Hertz as well. In the 2010 Com Games, injured her shoulder, but there she is. The NT representative, the lone Northern Territory representative, Brooke Harris there. Finished off by Gabby Nats. So the Australians taking silver, and should be a proud moment for them, even though it's not the colour that they wanted. They acknowledge the crowd because they have supported them all the way. And look at that, very proud moment for the supporters. Rach Lynch's brother and sister-in-law.
Australia with the silver medal having been presented.
The gold medalist and Commonwealth champions, New Zealand.
You stand up, New Zealand. You have done the mahi. Mark Hager, that is His Royal Highness the Earl of Wessex. And the imprint that Mark Hager, the coach, leaves on this team, the speed, the agility, the interchange, the Right Honourable Prime Minister of New Zealand, Jacinda Ardern, and her partner Clark Gayford. They've been amongst, they are amongst all the New Zealanders up in the stands, so she's gone over to the other side. Sam Harrison, one of the many Whangarei-born athletes in the Black Sticks women. Nice touch to see her sister Charlotte, a former New Zealand player here too. Olivia Mary, formerly from Avonside Girls High at Christchurch. She was excellent to start the day today, Frances Davies. She was so strong when they needed her to be. Sally Rutherford, the goalkeeper. Boy, she put off some huge saves. Brooke Neal, another Whangarei athlete. It really is a nursery up there at the top of the North Island in New Zealand. Gunson, also from Whangarei, from Tauranga. Sam Charlton. And here beside her, one of the players that should get so many plaudits here, Grace O'Hanlon. She's not from anywhere in New Zealand, but the Maryborough player was so crucial in that semi-final win for New Zealand in the penalty shootout. Liz Thompson from Auckland. Rose Cadell got on the score sheet today. The gold medal match from Tauranga. Kelsey Smith, originally from Nelson, now in the capital city, Wellington. And one of the real characters of the side, Pippa Hayward, originally from the south, but in Christchurch now, up in Auckland in the centralised program. The 18-year-old Maddie Dorr about to get the medal round her neck. And gets a cheer from the crowd as well. Anita McLaren. Well, what a milestone here at the Commonwealth Games. Getting her 100th international goal. Now sits on 102 goals. And the gold gift presented to the Honourable Grant Robertson MP and Minister of Sport here in New Zealand.
Ladies and gentlemen, the anthem of New Zealand. medalists.
Stacey Milkinson and her New Zealand women's black stick side have the medals around their necks. They have the gold. It is the highest currency. And she, of all people, will know how hard they've had to work to get up on that dais. And England now forming the handshake. Played in terrific spirit, I've got to say, that final. Was there even a card?
No, and that's the thing when those two sides meet. It's always a physical contest, but I said it before, they play with such respect for each other, and it's such a skillful game. And we were treated to a couple of fantastic finals today. New Zealand really deserving winners. They outplayed the Australians today, and it's been a long time coming. Silver back in Delhi, and then bronze at Glasgow. But it's a gold medal for them today, and don't they deserve it?
Really is an incredible atmosphere.
To see all the nations combine and put everything aside and just celebrate a win for the Commonwealth Games.
Never better said, Nikki Hudson. It's been a phenomenal time here at the hockey venue. We unashamedly skite about the team that we have here, both the commentary team, our production crew, the camera people who've been out on all weathers and worked incredibly long hours, and all the volunteers that have made this such a memorable time. So the group photo about to happen for the three teams: the gold medalist New Zealand, silver Australia, and England with the bronze, here on the Gold Coast in 2018. Happy athletes. And all that training, all those hard yards that you do, and the horrible days of weather when you don't feel like it.
And it all comes down to these little three pieces of bling.
They're certainly happy about it at the moment. Enjoy the moment, girls, because then it's going to be another 4 years of hard work before they're back at it again. But it is about enjoying the moment, and the smiles on their faces certainly say everything.
But do you get a chance to really go back and celebrate, or are you just too exhausted after what you've put out there on the pitch?
I think it's such a crucial thing to acknowledge the moment. They're few and far between when you win a gold medal, and when you have one around your neck, you really need to take a moment, look around, sing the national anthem with pride and celebrate with your teammates, because you just never know when your next game's going to be, when you're going to get that next opportunity. And here's the team song.
And these teams, of course, will be coming back out to support the men later on this evening.
Oh, that's exactly right. So one gold medal, one silver medal and one bronze medal has been decided. England accounting for India. So 4-0 victors, England over India. And New Zealand 4-1 winners over Australia in the match that they all want. It's the gold medal match, and New Zealand are the gold medalists for 2018. Check that scoreline for England. I'm cutting short a couple of those goals, getting carried away with the gold medal. And England, of course, 6-0 winners over India. They poured the pressure on. We're going to see some of those highlights very shortly and see those goals. They're still celebrating out in the middle. Going over to the stands. Moments like this push aside those moments of doubt. An important milestone to get over the line in a big match. It was for those Grace O'Hanlon fans to switch their allegiance from Australia to New Zealand once she'd made the decision and back their girl all the way. So let's look back and see how these medals were decided. Come on, Ash.
And this is the bronze medal match, and really it went all of England's way. Bray, she was amazing today. 3 goals to her name total. Pern Webb got the first initial goal. And there's Bray again. She popped up time and time again. And it was just clinical finishes by the English side. There's Laura Unsworth getting in on the action, the defender overlapping. Oh, and guess who? It's Bray. I might help myself to another one. There she goes and feeds it to her captain, Danson, who also got her name on the board. And that meant that England got the bronze medal. Here is the gold medal match. And Charlotte Gloin, she made no mistakes there, slotting it home to the goalkeeper's left. There's the slap that goes in. Rose Cadell, she jumps on the loose ball, just wanted it more. And that made it 2-0. Olivia Mary, how about that for a powerful shot. An absolute cracker. And Rachel Lynch, she is tall in goal, but not that tall. Fully outstretched, right in the corner. And there's a good celebration. Australia, they managed to get back into it. Jodie Kenny putting one home. But then Australia took the keeper off. And Anita McLaren, she finished it off. And made sure that the New Zealanders earned their first gold medal at a Commonwealth Games here on the Gold Coast. 4-1 victors.
So the New Zealand flag flying high in the breeze here at the Gold Coast Hockey Centre. The bronze medal match, England taking it over India by 6-0, and Sophie Bray with that hat-trick and showing why she is a world-class striker. And the gold medal match, New Zealand, they got the goal, and then in the third quarter they poured on the pressure and sealed it. And a little bit of tactical help from Australia. 4-1 New Zealand taking the gold medal, and the final rankings here at Commonwealth Games 2018 on the Gold Coast at Labrador. New Zealand first, Australia 2, England with the bronze, and India 4th. Canada improving places, they've gone up the ladder for them, and South Africa have dropped down after 2 4ths. Scotland 7th, Malaysia 8th, 9th Wales, and we all remember what Ghana have brought to this Commonwealth Games as well. First Commonwealth Games for them, needing a shootout to decide who was going to take 9th and 10th. So marvellous from Ghana, but marvellous for New Zealand because they had the glitter of gold around their neck. It's been a fantastic 27 matches in the women's program. New Zealand are the gold medalists. My thanks to my co-commentators Ashley Nelson and Nikki Hudson. It's been a real privilege to take these matches and look at them from here. It is New Zealand with the gold medal, beating Australia by 4-1.
13 years old when the abuse began. She wanted to run away.